gentlemen, welcome to the Andre Berto versus Shawn Porter media conference call. Your host for today is Lou DiBella. Mr. DiBella, you may now begin.
Thank you, everybody, for joining us for the final phone call for the Andre Berto versus Shawn Porter WBC Welterweight World Title eliminator that will take place on SHOWTIME Championship Boxing, presented by Premier Boxing Champions. That'll be live at 9 p.m. Eastern Time, 6 p.m. Pacific Time, from the Barclays Center in Brooklyn, New York, on Saturday, April 22nd, 2017, a week from this Saturday. Tickets for the live event start at $50, and they're on sale now. They can be purchased by visiting Ticketmaster.com, BarclaysCenter.com, or by calling 1-800-745-3000. This is a great matchup of incredible significance in one of the divisions that's the hottest in all of boxing. Berto and Porter represent two of the best at this weight class. The winner will be the mandatory for Keith Thurman. Obviously, this fight sets up a huge fight in the future. And I'm very pleased to bring to you to say a few words, the man who put this fight together, who's been responsible for a tremendous amount of sensational boxing programming on Showtime, as well as Showtime Boxing on CBS, over many, many months now, and it's been a string of great boxing for Showtime, and it's my pleasure to introduce Steven Espinoza.
Thanks, Lou. We're thrilled to be back at Barclays Center and thrilled to be working with DiBella once again. At Showtime, our spring schedule is starting to take shape. This April 22nd event is the start of a very aggressive lineup of fights over an 8-week span. More to come on that in the very near future. In terms of our televised fights, we've got really 4 compelling matchups to provide a little bit of everything, interest for all sorts of fans. We have Luis Ortiz taking on the very tough, durable Derek Rossi. This will be Luis's Showtime debut. And really, this is another fight in the Showtime's commitment to the heavyweight division. We've seen Anthony Joshua progress. We've seen Deontay Wilder progress. We've seen young guys like Jermell Miller progress, all on Showtime. And we're thrilled to add Luis Ortiz into that mix and look forward to seeing him in big fights in the future. Of course, without assuming any particular results on the fight, he's got a very tough guy to get through in Derek. We'll also have Amanda Serrano on again, our third women's bout to air live on Showtime in the last 9 months, and potentially a record for female boxers, a record for boxers of Puerto Rican descent, as she goes for a potential world title in the 5th weight class. Moving to the Showtime part of the card, Charlo versus Hatley really continues another progression, the super welterweight division, a division that really has we've been focusing on for a couple of years. Jermell Charlo, Julian Williams, Austin Trout, Erizandi Lara, Van Ness, Demetrius Andrade. Really, Showtime's been delivering the most significant fights in this division since really early 2016. And of course, the main event is really part of a series of ongoing welterweight fights that will determine, possibly by the end of the year, maybe early next year, who is the top dog, so to speak, in boxing's glamour division. We've had a series of phenomenal welterweight fights, including Shawn's fight last summer on CBS. Both Andre Berto and Shawn Porter, really gained national exposure early in their careers on Showtime via ShowBox. No surprise there. Andre was on ShowBox in 2006, Shawn Porter in 2009, and they have progressed in very significant stages of their career on Showtime. Andre 4 times on Showtime, Shawn 5 times on Showtime, and once on CBS. These are two guys that all of you media members know. They're likable, charismatic, articulate guys. They're guys who respect the sport and represent the sport well. Perhaps more importantly, they're all action fighters, and there's no way that this fight is going to disappoint. So top to bottom, a lot to offer on this April 22nd card, and we're looking forward to it very much. Lou?
Thank you, Stephen, and we look forward to those big announcements that are going to be coming out of Showtime shortly. We wanted to give the writers, everybody, a chance to talk to Andre and to Shawn. With fight week less than a week away, the holiday weekend's coming up, but we wanted to give people an opportunity to speak to Berto and to Porter and to get a sense of where they are in training, how they're viewing this matchup, where things stand for them right now. And it's my pleasure to introduce first from Winter Haven, Florida, with a record of 31-4 with 24 KOs, Andre Berto. Berto. Hello, Andre? Is Andre there, guys?
Lou, this is Kristen. He might have dropped off. If you just want to introduce Shawn, and we'll try to get him back on the line.
All right, that's fine. So we're going to get right to Showtime. Shawn Porter, 26-2-1, 16 KOs out of Las Vegas right now. Former IBF world champion. Everyone knows he's trained by his dad, Ken, and was a tremendous amateur, has been a tremendous pro, and I know he's ready for this important matchup on April 22nd. Shawn?
What's up, everybody? We're at the latter part of camp now, winding down, and still working hard, and everything is coming together the way we want it to. So at this point, the excitement is building up, and I can't wait to get out there to Brooklyn and see everybody and be a part of everything that's going on with this fight.
Have you done anything special to prepare for Berto? Anything different in terms of sparring partners or anything in your usual routine?
I personally think doing 15 rounds up on Mount Charleston at 8,500 feet yesterday, I think that's pretty special. We sparred 10 rounds with 3 different guys, and then we pushed ourselves a few more rounds in the ring, and then on some sprints on the road as well. So we're working hard. We swim every camp, track work every camp. We have an oxygen chamber at our training facility for our performance center. So everything we're doing is, just always try to do it bigger and better each fight.
That's great. Is Andre joined us? Berto, Jan?
Yeah. I just kept.
All right. The microphone is yours, bro.
Huh?
I said the mic is yours. Tell us a little bit about training camp and how you feel about the fight fight week's less than a week away.
I mean, the training camp has been tremendous, man. We had a tremendous training camp. Definitely stepped everything up this camp. Great sparring, tremendous sparring. And it's just, I can't say enough, about how this camp went. I'm in great shape. We're focused. We're pushing ourselves to the limit, each and every day. And, we're more than excited, coming into this fight. Feeling fast, feeling strong. Just like I said, man, this is just everything around the board, has just been hitting on all cylinders. So, we're excited. We're ready to get it.
Great. We'll open it up to the press now for questions.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you would like to ask a question at this time, please press star 1. Once again, if you have any questions at this time, please press star 1. And we're waiting for callers to join the queue. Our first question comes from Dan Raphael. Dan, please go ahead.
Hello, guys. My first question is for Andre. Andre, you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
My question for you is this. I was just taking a quick look at your record over the last few years. I mean, there's been some inactivity, obviously, but you fought a lot of good fighters, have not always beaten those fighters, even though you've been in several very significant fights. And do you think that a victory against Shawn would represent maybe the best win of your career?
I mean, I believe so. I mean, right now, within that little span of me, going through a little downhill, my career, like I said, I was going through a lot of things, going through a lot of, physical things, and but now just coming back, from that, and just, just coming in just a lot more healthy and a lot more strong, a lot more focused. Everything's just starting to show like it needs to be, and I believe that, of course, just like you said, this fight right here definitely probably, one of the, biggest wins of my career for sure. So.
Before this fight, what would you, if you look back on your record, what would, and I understand, of course, from the emotional point of view, winning world titles is a big deal when you beat the guys you won the titles against with Zavik, and I believe it was like, I don't remember who, Ricky Rodriguez years ago. But what, in your opinion, is the biggest win of your career, or the best opponent that you beat of your career?
Right now, name-wise, I'm not sure. I mean, I fought a lot of, great guys coming up. Like I said, I fought the Stevie Forbes. I fought the David Stratas, and, all those guys that were, big names at their time. But for right now, just the most satisfying one for me right now is probably my last one against Victor Ortiz, just because, so much, emotion that went into that fight, so much of a storyline that went into that fight, and how much it meant to me. Just emotionally all around the board, I think it's probably my most satisfying win right now at this point. I mean, like I said, I fought Carlos Quintana's, Stevie Forbes, all these guys that were very great fighters at their time, and they were at the top of the division at their time. But I think that was, I was young then, and I was, I believe that was my most satisfying.
Do you think a win against Shawn would surpass that as the most satisfying, because you're a little older, you've been off a while? It's going to put you back in position to fight for another world title if you win.
Yeah, I'm not sure, man. Like I said, man, the Ortiz fight just had a lot connected to it. But this fight here is a big fight as well. I mean, just every fight right now at this point, in my career is a big fight, and a very big, defining fight. So I'm just taking each of them, one step at a time, and just preparing like I need to, and be in tremendous shape, and just get through them one at a time.
I got that. Thank you for that, Andre. I have a question also for Shawn. Hey, Shawn.
What's up, Dan?
Hey, my question for you, Shawn, is this. You had a terrific fight against Thurman in the last fight. Obviously, you didn't get the victory. So when the fight with Andre came up, were you surprised that coming off of a loss, regardless of how close it was, that you were able to get a fight that would be a title eliminator to be in a position right back in a world title fight? Or did you think maybe it might take two fights maybe to get back in the position, or even longer perhaps?
You know what? Honestly, that's kind of the business side that I don't really, think about as much. I didn't think about how many fights it would take for me to get back to a championship fight. After that fight with Keith Thurman, it's just about, for me and my team, going back to the drawing board, figuring out what fight we can take to position ourselves, to either get a rematch with him or get another title. And that was it. That was how this fight with Andre Berto came to be. This was the guy that I was told would be the one to position me to get back to a world championship fight. And then, boom, we're at the press conference announcing the fight, and they tell us that it's for an eliminator. And, I couldn't have been more surprised. I don't think there's anything in my life that I've ever been more pleased with a surprise other than that. When DeBella came up and said that it would be for a title eliminator for the WBC title, my heart just it glowed, with happiness, So I'm looking forward to this fight. I've been looking forward to this moment for a long time, and win.
You had agreed to the fight even before you knew it was the eliminator, is the point. I remember we were sitting at the press conference. Like, you really didn't know until DeBella said that.
We agreed to the fight with the understanding that, this will lead to something better. But again, me personally, I didn't know how long it would be.
Okay.
And then the man comes on the stage and says it's for an eliminator, and I'm like, wow.
One other question for you, Shawn. You've been in 2 world title fights that you lost, both competitive decisions to Brook and to Thurman. If you could wave the magic wand, I know you got to fight Andre next week, but if you could wave the magic wand, which guy of Thurman and Brook would you rather have a rematch against, and why?
Thurman. I think he's the better fighter, and I think being able to beat him, I think would be something on my resume and my legacy that would be remembered for a very long time. He's a very good fighter, a very good defender of his belts, and I'm looking forward to fighting him in a rematch.
All right, thank you guys. Appreciate your time, both of you. Good luck next week.
Our next question comes from Mitch Abramson. Mitch, please go ahead.
Thanks. Hey, hi, everybody. Hey, Shawn. How's it going?
I'm good. How are you, Mitch?
Hey, very good. Shawn, I saw some comments you made recently discussing Berto's fight against Mayweather and how you seem to suggest that you're going to follow Floyd's blueprint for his boxing, Berto, and staying on the outside, and you seem to kind of say that you're going to follow the same strategy. Is that true?
Well, watching the fight, I definitely admire, any fight that Floyd Mayweather is in, his boxing ability. I thought that was something that was very, very effective against Andre Berto. So we'll definitely pick our spots where we want to box, where we want to use the ring, but at any rate, through the entire fight, we will control the action as well as the ring.
Yeah, I mean, you're a guy that's known for being very aggressive and throwing a lot of shots, and maybe your boxing ability doesn't get as much credit. I mean, do you plan on showcasing more of your boxing ability in this fight against Berto?
Well, it depends on the fight. Like you just said, my boxing ability may be a little underrated, unseen. It depends on who I'm in the ring with. You may get more of the boxing, you may get more of the pressure and the aggression. So, and then with saying that, any fight at any time it could change. So we'll do this fight accordingly. We'll take a look at what's going on. We'll make our adjustments during the fight in the corner as well, and we'll see. You might see more boxing. You might see more pressure. We'll see how it plays out.
And you mentioned before that you felt that Keith Thurman was a better fighter than Kell Brook. I mean, can you just explain why you feel that way?
I just think overall, boxing ability, ring IQ, speed, quickness, power, all of it. My personal opinion, and it could be a biased opinion, but I do feel like Keith Thurman is a better boxer / fighter than Kell Brook.
All right, and then Andre, I have a question for you. Just what do you think about Shawn, saying that he might use Floyd Mayweather's template against you in your fight? I mean, what's your reaction to hearing that?
That's fine. I mean, like I said, that's his business. That's his, that's his game plan. However he wants to, whichever way, he wants to, maneuver, whatever the situation is. I mean, that's on him. Right now, us, we're just preparing for, for every look. We're preparing for every look, we need to prepare for. If it's boxing, if it's brawling, if it's him trying to crowd us, whatever the situation is. Right now, we just dialed in and focus on what we need to do. We don't really, we're not really, focused on what he's trying to do to us. We're trying to, make sure that we're going to be all right, and we're going to be focused. We're going to be, dialed in on every angle, on, whatever, way the fight is going to go.
I mean, Shawn is known as more of a brawler. Do you think he has the boxing ability?
You have to day, you have to see. Like I said, Shawn, he showed in the past that he can brawl. He can press the guys out. Brawl. He might try to, use something new this fight. I'm not sure. Right now I'm just focused on what I got to do. Like I said, we're in tremendous shape. We're focused, all around the board. All around the board. We can box, we can bang, we can do whatever we want to do as well. So, so it doesn't matter, what it is. We're going to see what it is when we get in that Saturday.
Okay, thanks, Andre. One question for Steven Espinoza. Steven, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Hey, Steven. So, Luis Ortiz's fight and Amanda's fight, they're going to be on Showtime Extreme?
Yes. Showtime Extreme will be, we're at a slightly different time, 7:30 p.m. on Extreme, and then the doubleheader on Showtime at 9:30 Eastern and 6:30 Pacific.
Okay. All right. Thanks, Steven.
All right.
Our next question comes from Lim Satterfield. Lim, please go ahead.
Hey, guys. How you doing? First question is going to be for Shawn. How you doing, Shawn?
What's up, Lim? How you doing?
Hey, great, man. Good talking to you. Listen, you dictated a really aggressive pace against Keith Thurman. It's been 10 months since that fight, but do you think that looking at what you did and with your skills compared to kind of how like Guerrero did against Andre, that your style will be more favorable to you? I mean, I know you talked about boxing just now, but what do you your thoughts on that? Do you think he could handle that pace?
Well, to be honest with you, that's my mindset, my team's mindset every time we get in the ring is that, our opponent won't be able to keep up with the pace that I perform at. And, I do everything that I can leading up to the fight to be ready to fight like that. I never go into the ring with the thought that, I'm going to throw 60, 70, 80, 90, 100 punches around. It's just kind of how the fight flows and how it goes, So, yes, I'm always prepared to fight at a faster pace. I think at a faster rate than most of the guys that I box. So yeah, I think that is going to be an advantage for myself getting in the ring with Andre Berto. I think that I'll be able to dictate the pace and push his heart and make him work hard. And like I said, and also like you said, the skills as well as the power. This should be a very good fight. This is why this fight is very anticipated, because you know what I can do, and you know what Andre can do. But I think I've shown out there that there's nothing that you can doubt when I'm getting in the ring. Is that I'm going to perform the way I always perform, and the fight will take care of itself.
Besides Mayweather, do you think you're the most superior opponent that he's faced, and if so, why? Yeah, I would say I am. He's fought some very good boxers, some punchers, some guys that were aggressive, some counter punchers. He's fought them all. I think, the thing that separates me from those guys is that I can do all of it. Very rarely do you have that in another fighter that can, You there?
Can ring, all of that, so I have it all.
Andre, you there? What are your thoughts on what Shawn brings to the ring, and do you agree that with him that maybe besides Mayweather he's your most difficult opponent?
What's that? What's that again?
I said, do you agree with him that he might be, other than say Mayweather, he might be your most difficult opponent? And if so, what skills, what challenges does he bring? I know you can brawl, I know you can box, you've done all that. What challenges does Shawn bring to the ring, and do you agree with him that he's your most difficult opponent besides say Mayweather?
Like I said, I won't know until I can't really say that until I get in there with him. Like I said, I've been in there with a lot of guys. And I've been there with a lot of different type of guys from my first 12 or 13 fights. I've been in there with a few world champions. So we'll have to go in there and see. But Mayweather, like I said, and if you're bringing up Mayweather, Mayweather is Mayweather. He's gonna go out there and move around, box. He's gonna he's going to play, real slippery. He doesn't think, offensive first. He thinks defensive, always. And I believe that he is, definitely one of a kind in the sport, and he's definitely, showed it throughout the years. But when it comes to Shawn, he does a lot of things wrong and he does a lot of things right. So I can't say that he's going to be, besides Mayweather, my most difficult fight, because I haven't been in there with him yet. But he's definitely, I'm going to say, like, he's definitely a great fighter. But like I said, we're ready and we're equipped, and I've been there with great fighters before. So, so we'll have to see what it looks like.
Well, last question for you, Andre, is that there was a point in your career where you had back-to-back stoppages of Carlos Quintana, who had split with Paul Williams. You had knocked out Freddie Hernandez in the first round. You later went the distance with Lara and Andrade. Mm-hmm. Do you feel that at that time you were getting credit, and do you think that you have ever really gotten credit for being, a better fighter?
Man, you know what, man? This boxing game, the fight game, brother. It's you're as good as your last performance. Just as they can raise you up high as being the next great thing. Going through a defeat or going, through some, tough times. I mean, they'll write you off quick. They'll write you off quick in this game, man, and that's just how the game goes, man. I can't sit there and just be upset at it. Just coming into it, I know, what I was getting into, and just with all of the buzz surrounding me, coming into the pro game, and just me going in there beating all these ex-world champions and being world champion myself. I mean, I can give myself accolades, but like I said, man, within time, if things don't go your way or how it's supposed to be, they'll definitely discredit you. But you have to just see it. You have to see it for what it's worth, man. And at the end of the day, just know who you are. At the end of the day, you can't let this fight game, ultimately, just define you. Because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. It won't give you the credit that you feel that you deserve at the end of the day. And I believe that's what any and every fighter, them going through, everything, them retiring. I don't know too many, fighters that have retired, satisfied. They're satisfied with this fight game, but satisfied with the notoriety they've gotten from the writers, from the critics, from the fans. I don't know too many at all. But it is what it is. You just got to go in there and do what you got to do. Just know who you are, and just go in there and just make yourself happy.
Our next question comes from Keith Idek. Keith, please go ahead.
Yes, my first question is for Andre. Andre, just piggybacking on what you said earlier, do you feel that you've been written off going into this fight?
Man, from my first fight, from my first loss, and moving forward, I've been written off. Just like I said, going into, that's just where the fight game is. It's just where the fight game is. From my first loss on, it's been, speculations. It's been this and it's been that. And like I said, I've been through my hard times. And everything that I've been through in this fight game has been in front of that TV screen. That's what they need to understand. Everything. I got a chance to fight on one of the, one of the biggest networks around at, I don't know, probably 11, 12 fights. With Lou DiBella and HBO. And just everything that I've done has been in the eyes of the public. My rise, my fall, going through my defeats, and me coming back from shoulder surgery and coming back, trying to, to continue to make a statement, let people know I'm still here. You know what I'm saying? So, I love it because I love that roller coaster ride. I've never seen my career, coming to this game as being perfect. Never. I always wanted to feel everything that this game had to offer. Just like Muhammad Ali said a long time ago. He was able to feel everything this game had to offer. He got knocked down. He was, he got stopped. He won titles. He was the best alive. He was this and that. I mean, you have to experience it all. And at the end of the day, when I'm done, I'll be able to read my story and see that I've definitely felt and experienced everything this game had to offer.
In this fight in particular, Andre, he's the younger fighter, and he's a pretty big favorite in the fight. How much motivation has that given you in this camp?
Man, it was tremendous motivation. Just me, like I said, just me just coming back from everything that I've come back from. From that point on, just coming back from from the shoulder surgery and just moving forward. Everybody, I believe they've been able to see a whole different type of determination and motivation in me, and they've been seeing that in these fights as well. So so it's not going to stop. It's not going to stop. Yeah, I mean, they can think of it some other type of way, but everybody right now at this point, he's look like they're in the way right now for what I want. That's it. That's the only thing that matters to me.
Okay, thank you, Andre. I have a question for Shawn. Shawn, how difficult has it been for you? And I know there have been reasons, injuries and delays in the fights and everything, but how difficult has it been for you to not be more active since the Broner fight?
That's a tough one to call. I think more than anything, it's just been a little tougher mentally accepting it. But outside of that, we still work hard, and my name is Showtime for a reason. I'm a Showtime fighter, so I'm never worried, about any amount of time that I've been out of the ring in the actual fight, because we have tons of those before the actual match. So I'm just excited about this fight coming, and I'm looking forward to getting to Brooklyn.
Do you think, maybe for your next fight, if you're able to beat Andre, do you feel like a Thurman rematch, because especially this is an elimination match for his title, that is a realistic opportunity for you in your next fight?
I'm hoping so. I know that he has two different belts, and he'll have two different mandatories. So I understand all that, but I'm looking forward to getting back in the ring with Keith Thurman in a rematch as soon as we can after this fight with Andre Berto.
Thanks, Shawn.
Our last question comes from Eddie Goldman. Eddie, please go ahead.
Thank you very much. Hello, everybody. First question for Andre. Andre, you're going into this fight with roughly a 1-year layoff since your last fight with the second fight with Ortiz. Can you tell us about that layoff and how you think it might affect your performance in this fight?
I mean, the layoff is the layoff. Man, something you got to ask, the promoters and managers on that. But, but anybody that follows me, they know I've been staying busy anyways, within this year. I've been staying working out. I've been staying in shape, and we've had we've had a nice lengthy camp to make sure to knock off all the rust. And we're sharp, man. We're sharp, and we're ready to go. So I don't think it's gonna play too much of a big part in this one as well.
You mentioned the issue of ring rust. I know you were talking earlier how this fight's going to start and how it's going to proceed, whether it's going to be a lot of slugging, or whether it could be very more tactical and defensive. But watching both you two fight in your last several fights, a lot of people are expecting a lot of fireworks in the first several rounds. So how does that affect you being off for that period of time, and as soon as the bell rings, it may get very heated very quickly?
I mean, it's not going to affect me too much at all. Everybody knows me. When it comes to me, man, I've been scrapping that way my whole career. And plus, like I said, we've been having tremendous sparring. We've been having tremendous sparring here at the gym. Everybody's, to a point that everybody's trying to push me to a whole other level. I'm out here putting real money on my own head to make sure these guys come, from the first round on and try to see if they can knock me out. So all the sparring has been top notch. It's definitely been highly, highly competitive. So, like I said, we're going to be ready to go.
And do you think you've changed very much, or are planning to change? Because it's kind of odd to say this. You're the older, more veteran fighter in this, but are there going to be changes in your approach?
Yeah, that's crazy to say. I'm an old vet now. But yeah, man, just down here working with Verge. We're definitely, just my boxing IQ has changed, so much, when it comes to, just everything in general, doing things because, always doing things for a reason, not just out there throwing punches because we can, not just always just being fast because we can, or being strong because we can. Everything is for a purpose, and we've just been fine-tuning everything, and everything's been falling in place pretty amazingly.
And Shawn, you're coming off of the layoff of about 10 months, and then before that a year. Do you think there are going to be any ring rust problems, or how are you going to deal with that?
No ring rust at all, man. I'm just looking forward to the fight. I know it's been a while since you guys seen me, but I'm always working, and my team is always on me, making sure I'm in shape, getting in shape, staying in shape, and that I'm controlling my weight, my eating, all that kind of stuff. So fight night is no problem for Shawn Porter.
Right. Thank you, Eddie, and thank you, Andre and Shawn, and I wish you both and your families a happy Easter. Thanks, everybody, for joining us. One more time, I just want to reiterate, Stephen did mention a timing change, that the Showtime Extreme telecast on April 22nd will begin at 7:30 p.m. The Showtime telecast will begin at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time. That's Showtime Championship Boxing, the Welterweight World Title eliminator between Berto and Porter, Barclays Center, Brooklyn, New York, April 22nd, week from Saturday. Tickets are available at Ticketmaster.com, BarclaysCenter.com, or by calling 1-800-745-3000, and we hope to see everybody there. And if we don't, please tune in on Showtime. Thank you all.
Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes your call. You may all disconnect at this time.